Hello guys, how are you today? I hope you're okay. So we are on Unit 3 Art Forms, okay? So we already saw this and we were talking about the past simple, remember that? And we saw some verbs in the past, but today's grammar is on is to, so we're gonna click on that. So the concept. Used to. We use the structure used to plus verb to talk about past habits, okay, or actions that don't happen anymore. Like, I used to do this when I was a child, but now I cannot do that anymore. It's not like I cannot do. I don't do that because I have to work. Like, I used to play when I was a kid. I used to play. Used to plus a verb. The verb is play. I used to play when I was a kid, but now not anymore because I have to work, okay? And because I'm an adult, I cannot play. I mean, like I can, but I don't do that. Affirmative form, negative, and the question form. So let's see this grammar. Affirmative. People used to go to the theater often. I used to visit museums with my mom. So can you see we are following the rules? People used to go to the theater often. Is in the past, not now. Used to plus the verb go. This is the verb, but it's not going. Okay, it's just the verb. I means the first person singular. I used to visit museum with my mom. That person, if you say that, you don't visit museum with your mom anymore. Okay, so negative. When we use the negative, we use didn't, used to. Pay attention here. Use doesn't have a D. The letter D is not here. Didn't used to have. So theaters didn't used to have roofs. So that's the feeling, right? I didn't used to like being on stage. In the question form, we gotta use did, in here as well. Can you see? That's auxiliary. Do you used to play the piano? What do you used to study? Those questions are related to past habits. And remember, in the question form, use is without a D in here as well, without the letter D. But in here we use the letter D. That's in affirmative form. So when do we use it? You can read this, in your book. We use to when the state or action lasted for some time or happened repeatedly. The state or action doesn't happen anymore. Something happened a long time ago, but not now. These are some examples. I used to work to school, but now I cycle. Like this is in the past. When I use used to, is in the past. But now I cycle, mean I have a bicycle. And I ride my bicycle to go to school. He didn't used to like seafood. This is in the past. Now he likes seafood. When I say he didn't used to like, means, he didn't used to like is negative, right? He didn't like seafood. That's the meaning. All right. And now he likes it. And question form. Did, remember it, these are the rules, so we have to follow it. Do you used to swim every day? I mean, in the past, did you swim? Like, talking about habits. Do you used to swim every day? All right, so there you go. There are some things to take into consideration as well. You gotta read it. Let's move on now to this activity, okay? Actually, it's a listening activity, but we are not gonna play it. I'm going to show you the answers. All right, so we can analyze it. So these are the answers. All right, so Lily, this is Lily. You can describe the picture. You can describe the picture. You can describe the picture so you can, brush up on your English. So in the past, Lily, she used to go to the theater every weekend, with her aunt. That's in the past. That's what you're using Easter. And now, you're talking about Lily, this one. She's a star of the school now. School show, sorry. David, in the past, he used to go to see concert with his grandpa. David, okay? And now he plays in the school orchestra. So at the beginning, in the past, he was seeing concerts. And because of that, I think he got inspired, and that's why he plays now in the school orchestra. This is now. So when something is happening right now, or something, happens at the moment, we don't use used to. Used to is something in the past, okay? Sharon here. Sharon, she used to watch a lot of TV. That's the past. With her sister. But now she dances, She has dance class 3 times a week. She used to be a lazy person. But this is in the past. That's why we're using used to. Used to plus watch plus the verb with no ing form. Not in the past. The verb has to be just like this. Go, watch, go. We don't have to use went in here or ing form. We don't have to use watched here in the past, But the meaning, of course, is related to the past. All right. The last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna skip this part because it's a listening activity, and we're gonna go on this. This is a short reading, and we're gonna read, and after that, we have to write down sentences using used to or didn't used to. Okay, for example, David used to go to the cinema with his cousin. How do I know that? Because I read. When David was young, his older cousin took him to the cinema every Tuesday. When David was young, David was young, that's something in the past. That's why we gotta use used to. Because now David doesn't go to the cinema. How do I know that? Because we are talking about used to. Used to is something that happened in the past but not now. So let's read this. When David was young, his older cousin took him to the cinema every Tuesday. They watched the film. Then they went to a fast food restaurant. Now his cousin has moved away from England and he lives in Germany. Also, David's dad bought a huge TV and they usually watch films at home. David doesn't go to the cinema often, and when he does, he goes at the weekend with his friends. Now that we know this, we have to write down some, sentences using used to and the negative form, which is didn't used to. There we go, the answers. So, number 2, they used to watch a film every Tuesday. Yeah, it's a past habit. You remember here? Every Tuesday. Yeah. So number 3, they used to go to a fast food restaurant after what? After the cinema, right? Yeah, that's a number 3. Yeah, because they say, fast food, then means later. They went to restaurants. All right, so number 4, David's cousin didn't used to live in Germany. Yeah, because it says, now his cousin has moved away from England, so he used to live in England. And that's why David's cousin didn't used to live in Germany. He lives in Germany now. We can say that. Number 5. David didn't used to watch films at home. Yes, because he used to go to the cinema, right? Didn't used to watch films at home. That was later. Number 6. David didn't used to go to the cinema only at the weekends. Yeah, not only at the weekends. Because he said he goes at the weekend with his friends. Yeah. Doesn't go to the cinema often. That's why it's a negative form. These are affirmative and these are negative, didn't. And number 7, David's dad didn't used to have a huge TV because after the event, he bought, a huge TV in here. David's dad bought a huge TV. In the past, David's dad didn't have a TV. That's why David's dad didn't have a TV means David's dad didn't used to have a huge TV, but now he does. That's all for now. Thank you for paying attention. Bye.